want to take a look at it. Okay, so the whole purpose of tonight is to go over the Arbiter website. All the people who have completed most of the classes and most of the quizzes have gotten Arbiter logins. So have all you guys gotten logins, an email with a login? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I figured all you guys did, because there were several people who did, but there were a few that didn't. So, okay.
Stacy, this is Chris. I don't think I've received anything.
You didn't receive anything?
No, I don't believe so. I've seen some stuff from Arbiter, but not login information.
Okay, let me, I'll check on you. I thought I sent your name in.
I got mine
But
on
I-
the 5th.
What I
Okay.
had to do was reset my password. Like I didn't create an account. I just had to go in and create an account and then reset my password in order to get in.
Okay, so maybe that's what you need to try. I'll talk with you, Chris. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and kind of talk you through how to fulfill the requirements for the state, the test, and all the clinics and things like that, and then how to put your availability in. So here we go. Where is my? That's not it. All right, how about this? Can you see that? Can you see my Arbiter login?
Yep.
Okay. So let me just put my password in here. All right. Yours looks, it's not going to be as busy as mine. I have a bunch of different things here. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Okay, so when you log in, you should have, can you see the yellow? You should have the WOA Central Hub and the WOA Official. You should have those two. And then you should have PNBOA Rec and PNBOA. So, you know, we do the assignments. The school assignments are done via the PNBOA account, and all the rec assignments are done during the rec account. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. I need to get our assigner the right information. So I'm just going to hop off here for a second. Let me turn, now I am. Okay. Last time. Okay, so you should have 4 lines on your login screen when you get in, okay? You can change either via this upper right corner, or you can just click on the line that you want. So I'm going to click on WOA Central Hub. This is where you access all of the tests and, come on, there we go. And the clinics and stuff you need to watch to finish your certification. So you go here and you click up at the top, you pick the sport, which is basketball. And there's a lot of good information here if you want to just browse around. This is just informational stuff on the main page. But if you want to go to Eligibility Center over here, maybe. Come on. There we go. And down at the bottom, well, it'll probably not be it'll probably be the only thing you have. You're going to see 2020, 21 registered and certified. Okay, you guys see these things right here? To do school games, to be a registered official, there's fewer requirements, but you have to be certified to do school games. So we just tell everybody to fulfill the requirements to be a certified official. So you go across to the right side and I've completed all of them, but you click on that link over there and it's going to list out what you need to do. So you click on, there's going to be a link over here. If you haven't completed them, it'll say view clinic or take test or whatever. and you just do it from here and you go, it won't reflect up right away that you've completed it. But if you check the next day, you should see these little green arrows like I have. Does that make sense to everybody?
If you complete the certified, will the registered then be complete as well?
Yes, yes. The certified is like all the requirements and the registered is a subset. So yes, just do the certified. You should have 7 things to complete. And like I said, this probably isn't a very good, well, actually, let me try this review clinic. I think this might. Okay, so you're going to get this launching, leaving Arbiter Sports, and it's going to open this new window. Do you see that? Do you see where it says Arbiter Sports guest book?
Yep.
Okay, so you're just gonna fill in your stuff so it can keep track of who did the stuff and who didn't. So I'll just put in Stacy Brodzik here. Okay, submit. And okay, and then it just runs through. The clinics are mostly PowerPoints. And you just go through them and they don't really take that long. They're, some of them are like 3 minutes and some are 10 minutes. You just go, you can just roll through all of them all in one sitting, which is what I do. And then of course, then the test one is going to take a little bit longer. So that's all there is to getting certified. And, this is one of those things, it's kind of a pain in the ass, just get it done, finish your requirements so that when we actually start getting games, you'll be all set. Okay, anybody have any questions about that? We're good. All right.
Real quick. So my background check shows, oh no, I have a concussion management completed. So do I not have to do that again?
You must have done it for baseball.
Yeah, but it was like 2 years ago.
Well, if you want to review it, you can do the review, which is what I always do, because you only have to, the concussion, you only have to take every couple of years. The other
Gotcha.
ones you have to
Okay.
take every year, but in the interest of getting the test right and getting the questions right, I would say just review it every year.
All right. And
Is
the
that-
background cassette, will that work for both baseball and basketball
Yes,
once I do that?
yeah. In fact,
Okay.
if you've already done it for baseball, it should already say completed.
It doesn't, but it would have, I don't know if I did it 2 years ago. Maybe it's only good for 2 years or something.
I don't know. I would just fill out the form and
Yeah.
just, it's just in the interests of the safety of the kids. They don't want some
Yeah.
predator out there who's officiating. So,
Isn't there's a charge for it though, isn't there?
I don't remember ever paying for it myself,
Oh, okay.
but I will ask.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you saying to do the clinics first and after the clinics do the test? Is that what you're recommending?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were on the session where we did the test online, right?
Yeah,
So you probably have your test all marked up. So for you, it doesn't make any difference.
right.
Right. But for most people, I think, you get information in some of those clinics that's applicable for the test. That's
Okay.
all. Okay. Okay, everybody get this? If you have any issues with this or something's not working or it's not showing credit, just let me know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you find the eligibility section? Because it's,
Oh, how did I get here?
yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go to, when you first log in, you get all those different groups you're in. And you want to click on the one that says WOA Central Hub right here. Can you see my mouse? It'll come up. It's thinking. Okay, do you see the Central Hub? Somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so then you go to basketball up at the top with all the sports. You pick basketball. And then you pick eligibility center.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's all the eligibility. Okay.
Yeah, it took me a while to get around this WOA site. It was a new creation a few years ago, and it confused me initially, but I figured it out. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the, where is it? PNBOA. We're going to talk about how to, what the PNBOA and the PNBOA logins look like. Again, I don't know if anybody signed on late, but the school games are assigned through the PNBOA account, and all the other rec games are assigned through the PNBOA rec account. So you need to make sure that both accounts have your availability in them. Okay. So, this is the main screen. It doesn't say anything great. I'm just going to go through the tabs here up at the top. So then the schedule, during normal times, you would see a whole bunch of games listed here. This is the PNBOA account I'm logged into. So it's going to say PNBOA is the group. If it was the rec stuff, it would say PNBOA rec. Okay. Then the date and time of the game. And this is kind of bogus because this is how we did our rule book pickups this year. But most of the time there's going to be, it'll say basketball, varsity, or junior varsity, or middle school. It'll have the site of the game, and it'll have the home and away teams. Okay. The one thing I want you guys to know is that once you say you're available, you can't go through these and accept and decline them. It's just once you say you're available, then the games you get are what you get. And if you have an issue that arises that makes you unable to take an assignment, you need to call the assigner involved and let them know.
Do you have a limit of how many you can? I mean, if you change one, like in baseball, we get one sort of free where I say, oh, I screwed up, didn't block it, and now I can't do that game. But after that, you have to pay like $10 every time you do that.
I don't think we have a freebie. I think, if you're brand new and you screw up, the assigners are the ones that assess the fines. Okay. You don't want to get in the habit, obviously, of having them have to redo their work and assign somebody else to a game where they've already assigned you.
Yeah, you won't be a friend of the assigner if you do that.
You won't be a friend of the assigners, and frankly, you might not get as many games because they might not think you're going to be reliable. So it's really important to log in. If you have any changes to your availability after you input them, just go to the site and change them as soon as you can. And if something comes up, if life comes up, your kid gets sick, or you're caught somewhere and whatever. They understand, but you just need to let them know as soon as you can and call them. Don't send them an email, because they need to get on this right away and fix it. Okay. And I think I've told you this before, but just in case, the boys' school is assigned by John Lindsay, and the girls' school is assigned by Leslie Fitzpatrick, and all the rec stuff is assigned by Leslie. So you have two different people you need to deal with depending on what the game is. Okay.
So if you say you're available and then you get assigned that game, where do you see that you got assigned that game?
Right here on the schedule thing. Like on the schedule link or tab, it'll come up and it'll say what your game assignments are.
So if you say like, I'm available tomorrow, and then you don't get any games tomorrow, there'll just be nothing here?
Correct.
Okay.
What I try to do, and what I would encourage you to do, is try to put your availability in like 2 weeks ahead. Or if you have a schedule that's the same every week of every month of every all year, I would just put that same availability in for like the whole season. And then if something changes, you can always tweak it. Because they make their assignments, they start making them a couple weeks out, maybe sometimes earlier. So you want to have something in way ahead of time. Okay.
And I don't know if you're going to cover this, but there is a app for the phone. It does cost, it's really cheap, like $6 for 3 years or something like that. But then as soon as you get assigned, boom, it pops right on your phone and tells you about the assignment.
Yeah, one thing is it's a benefit right now and we don't have to pay for it. So
Okay.
there's an app called Arbiter Sports, and I can send you the information on that. It doesn't quite have all the information of this site, but at least it lets you, it alerts you when you get a new assignment, and it lets you look through your assignments and who your partners are and all that stuff. So it's pretty handy. Okay, we're not going to worry. We don't do evaluations on this system, so we're not going to worry about that. Payments is a new thing this year. We normally were paid completely outside of Arbiter, but this year is the first year we're going to be paid for school games within Arbiter, and so I can't tell you anything about that because I don't know. When we get information, I will spread that word. Lists, you're going to be assigned games with people that mostly you don't know, and so what I try to encourage people to do is when you get a game assignment, send an email to your partner, and you can get those from in here. This has a list of all the referees in the association. Send an email to your partner just to verify that they got the same assignment at the same time at the same location. Because I guarantee what happens sometimes is people, they confuse the home and away teams, and they show up at the away gym and you're waiting at the home gym, and next thing you know, you have to ref the game by yourself. So just get in the habit of touching base a few days before your games with your partners, okay? And then there's a profile section here, which you need to fill in with all your information. It's all self-explanatory. Some of it might be preloaded. I'm not sure how much is going to be in there. So, okay, so this is the blocks section is where you put your availability in. Okay, if you look on the left margin here under groups, you'll see all these checks. If you want to put the same availability in for PNBOA and PNBOA Rec, you just leave those two checked. Come on. And then you work on your availability, and it shows up the same on in both groups. Hold on, I just heard from John again. Okay, I'm not sure what to do with him. All you guys logged on. Did you guys all log on from the website, from the Apprentice website?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it wasn't a link. You had to actually copy it. At least in mine, it
Yeah.
wasn't a link. You had to copy the link, but
okay.
Same
here.
Okay, well,
It's logged
John
on
says,
from a previous email.
yeah, John says he can't get on, keeps saying no matching items. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, it made me put in the password this time, the first time I got to do it.
Really?
I
Okay.
didn't have to do a password.
Oh, really?
I did the
did
meeting
Friday.
ID and then the password and all that.
Yeah, I got to the password every time.
I had to do both.
Actually, I have one more thing that I'm going to try here. Hold on.
Also, I don't show any officials in my list. Does that mean I'm not officially in the?
I don't know. That's an odd thing. You should have access to everything. So I'll make another one here.
Yeah,
I don't have a
no,
list of names either.
yeah, I don't have any names in my. I went to both PNBOA and PNBOA Rec, and I don't have any names.
Is it because we're not eligible yet to be assigned games?
I'm not quite sure. This is one of the reasons why I want John to get on, because he would be able to answer that.
I can see my baseball ones, but not the basketball.
Okay, I'm making a note.
I just wanted to make sure that that part was working, but it just doesn't work for the PNBOA.
I don't think I'm assigned to any groups.
You don't have any groups listed?
I don't think so.
So like when you go to, when you go like up in the corner here, do you see where I am, where it says Stacy Brodzik? There's no pull down menu that has groups?
So you press on your name to find them?
Well, there's a little arrow. Well, there should be a little, yeah. Just press on your name.
Okay, it might just be blocked by the Zoom thing. Okay, yeah, I have PNBOA Rec.
Okay,
That's the only one.
All right, I'm not disregarding you. I'm trying to do two things at once. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so this groups thing, if you want to have separate calendars for the two separate groups, then you need to do each one separately. I like to do them at the same time.
Will the assigner, so if, let's say I have a day open and I get a baseball game, will the assigner, the basketball assigner know that I have something that day?
Yeah,
Or,
yes, that's the beauty of Arbiter.
okay, so
Everybody
I won't
uses
get double
Arbiter.
booked. I won't get double booked by accident because
No.
I left a day open and baseball game you won and basketball game you won.
Yeah, as long as the baseball one shows up on the calendar, then you're
It
good.
does. Okay, cool. That's great.
Okay, so here's what you do. Underneath groups, it says action, okay? So this will, whatever you punch here affects everything else that you're gonna do on the main page. Hold on. Not important. Okay, so for instance, if you view schedule is the default. And so, so if you click on one of the numbers, like I'm gonna click on January 11th, and I look down at the bottom here where it says 111, it tells me that PMBOA rec is blocked and PMBOA is blocked. If I click on a different date, it'll tell me, whatever, the information for that day, okay? However, if I want to actually go in and do a block or clear a block or anything else like that, let's say I want to clear a block since I have everything blocked off. So I'll click on clear blocks. Now, whatever date I click on is going to clear any blocks that I have. So the 20th of January, instead of having these two things blocked, there's no blocks now and I'm wide open, okay? So the red on the calendar means you're blocked and the clear on the calendar means you're unblocked. Now let's say on the 20th, I have to work that day and I have to block off from 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. So I'll go to a block part day on the left, okay? And then I have to put in the time range up at the top that I want to block out. So I'll say this looks good, 8 to 5, okay? And then I'll click on the date and it'll show up as a different, an orange, and see it'll say PMBOA blocked from 2, okay? That means I can't work any games. Well, there's not going to be anything before 8 in the morning. I can't work anything until after 5 o'clock. Word of warning, if you say that you're available to work a game at 5 o'clock, that you got to bleed some time in between when you're leaving work or school or whatever and when you're actually available. Okay. So if my work ends at 5 o'clock and I work at UW and I say I'm available at 5 o'clock, that I might get assigned a game at 5 o'clock, and that's impossible. So if I can leave work at 5 o'clock, then I might put a 6 o'clock in here. Okay, because you want to bleed in some travel time.
So the assigner doesn't give you travel time with your block.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And well, I shouldn't say correct. I've heard that they do, but with traffic the way it is in Seattle, I always bleed an extra bit of time in for me. So I always bleed an extra hour in. Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Question?
Yeah.
What's your blue 16 up there on the 16th?
That's the blues are dates that you're assigned. I have no idea why that's in there because I have no assignments, obviously. That's just like some Arbiter weird thing. But when you do have assignments, you'll have blue dots on the days. So blue, if you look in this left column in the legend, see it says assigned games are blue. I don't know what attached game means. Pending game means that it's going to be a lighter blue that they've tentatively assigned you, but they haven't actually assigned you yet. And then the blocks are red for full day and orange for part day. And open is white. That means you can ref anytime during that day, which might be something you do on a weekend. Let's say you might be able to work all day on a Saturday. So you click there, but now look what I did. I was already blocked for the whole day. Then I said I'm blocked for part of the day. And so another way you can get rid of these blocks is you just click these little red X's and your block gets removed. And then pretty soon that color should turn to white. There we go. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything you do, you can undo. So it's like the first few times you do this is going to be really, it's going to be difficult. Now let's say you want to put a partial day block in from 8 to 5 from, see over here on the side, from January 1st to January 31st. January 31st. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you can do this. What happened? They should all be orange. Oh, I know what happened. Let me do it.
You already had full day blocks on them.
Yeah, so I had to unblock them first. Yeah, because see, now I have all day blocks. Yeah, so first what I should have done is I'm going to hit clear blocks for these days. Let's see if that works. Yeah. See, so first you clear them and then you go in and you do your block part day like we did, and they should all be orange now. So you don't, if you have a really weird schedule, you can put things in day by day by day. But there's easier ways to do it. So if I was you, since we don't have any games right now, and there's not a risk that you're going to put a availability in that you're not really available, I would play with this right now and do everything you want to do with it. Just make sure you reset your blocks to unavailable, because you're not ready to referee yet. We got to get you on the floor still. Okay.
Question regarding scheduling. When we're in the middle of the season and we're all active, how far in advance do the assigners assign games?
Couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that John Lindsay was online. I'm going to cut away from my demo here real quick and have our boys school assigner come on. John, you can unmute yourself and say, hey.
Hello. You sent me to some Zoom outer space, so thank you, Leslie Smith, for getting me on the Zoom meeting. Welcome to PNBOA. You guys have been lucky that you've had great training from Stacy, and I know Kevin Chin as Mr. Rulebook guy. So if you need to ever have a rule question, Kevin Chin is definitely the guy that will help you out with that, that's for sure. But yeah, the question about availability, we try to stay out a couple weeks in advance. You know, during the season at the beginning of the year, we always have trouble getting schedules from the schools because they don't know if they're going to have a frosh team or a JV team or a 10th grade. So it takes a little bit longer to get the non-varsity schedules in at the beginning of the year. But after that, we try to get 2 weeks out. I love officials, but it's tough to go longer than that because we start scheduling out, life gets in the way and people end up having to change their availability or cancellations, and it just gets to be more of a hassle than doing it every 2 weeks seems to work out the best. And you can always update your availability. So I found out tonight that I was available. Tomorrow you could go into Arbiter and unblock your availability for tomorrow. And then on my end, it would come up that you're available tomorrow. And if a game came available, don't be surprised that you would be assigned a game. We send out emails too trying to fill assignments that get added. Lots of times the school will try to add a game at last minute. And so assignments will come open that way too. But it really depends on your own availability, how much you want to work. We've got tons of games, probably more, in a regular season. Unfortunately, 2020-21 isn't a normal season. We're going to play basketball. I'm 100% positive we're going to play that. It probably won't be until late April, May, and June, but they are planning on playing it. Right now, basketball and wrestling are considered high-risk sports, so they're going to move them back later in the year. Start out with football and volleyball here in February, March. I also assigned football, so I'm getting schedules in right now with schools planning on trying to play games in the end of February and the first week of March. So schools don't have to be in session. They could be virtual. Hopefully, they'll be coming back to school here in the near future. But schools do not have to be in session to play sports. Well, I think those things will start moving up. The teachers are on the B plan for vaccines in February. So I think that some of this stuff starts happening. It's going to open up. We got Starbucks involved with helping out distributing. So you might be able to go to Starbucks drive-through and get a coffee and a vaccine. Johnson & Johnson are coming out. There's another vaccine coming out. I'm a big vaccine guy, so you're going to see emails, me bugging people to get a vaccine. I think we just got to get things moving. So, but football and volleyball will lead the way in February, March, and then we're kind of get an idea of what we're going to have. It will definitely be a shorter season. It's not going to be our usual December, January, Thanksgiving, and the first week of February. It's not going to be that 9-week season. Most likely it'll be 6 weeks and a week of playoffs. Junior highs are kind of on hold right now, but there's rumbling going on that basketball will try to run a junior high program at the same time. When I say high school, that's going to be Frost teams, sophomore, JV, and varsity. Everybody plans on playing. They're just going to have it during a shorter period. Usually at this time, we have tons of AAU games going on and leagues. Right now, all that's on hold. We don't know what's going to happen with that program right now. The schools aren't open where they can use their facilities. So I'm not saying that they're not going to have it, but we don't know exactly when it's going to start up and if they're going to have the facilities to use or not. It might be something, more teams or leagues or tournaments in June, July, August. In the past, they've closed down basketball from basically July 15th to September 15th. And I was told the other day they're going to open that up so they can play basketball all summer if they want. So that will give us the opportunity to have more tournaments in the summer. So it's coming back. There's going to be some COVID things involved with it. We got a big 10-page thing today about football, how the football season's going to start. So they're going to do the same thing for basketball. We'll just have to see how those are going to be.
So John, a couple people asked some questions that I couldn't answer.
Okay.
One, by the way, do you know Sammy, Mary Roper's daughter? She's on the call and she asked this
All right.
question. She wanted to know why she can't see any names in the, like when you go to Arbiter and you go to the list and you get all the members' names, they're not getting the list of names. Do you know why?
Is your list has no names at all, or are you saying it says names and no phone numbers, or what are you saying?
I just don't have anything. Like it's just blank.
And she's not the only one. There's several of them that their list is empty.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can get on Arbiter, but you just, when it goes to the people part of it, no names come up?
Correct.
Okay. I'll have to take a look at it. I don't know why. It's not happening to everybody?
Yes, it's happening to multiple people, including myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see the list either.
Okay. All right, well, let me find out why that, and you've gotten in and accepted, right? You've accepted and you've got into Arbiter, and then you can't
Yeah.
see the list, is that
I've
correct?
logged in.
Okay, okay. And can you see the central hub?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we went through that central hub and I think most people
Okay.
found it. So, yeah, that's just I just thought that was odd.
Personally, I've never heard that happening, so I'll have to find out why that is, because you all were registered with WOA and obviously put in Arbiter. So let me find out, and hopefully all of a sudden magically you'll be able to see the names.
Yeah, let me know, John, whatever you find out.
Okay.
Another question was, I'm sorry, did somebody ask something? Okay, another question somebody asked was, do they get charged for the background check? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a $10 cost for the background check. And I think it either goes 3 years or 5 years, but it is a $10 cost on it.
And it's just deducted from their earnings?
Right. They didn't have to pay with the credit card when they signed up? When you took the background check, did you guys?
I don't know how many of them have actually done it because I told them to hold
Okay.
off until tonight.
Okay. Because I thought it was when you did the background check, it asked you for the credit card for the $10 right then.
Well, whenever one of you guys does that, let me know.
Yeah, and I thought that it did, but I took it 2 years ago. That's what I was wondering, but it still said pending on mine. So I would think it crosses over, but maybe not.
Well, it should if you'd worked another sport.
Yeah, I did. I was baseball. So,
But even after they run the background check, every year they're going to ask you questions.
okay. So maybe I just,
So you're going to get like 3 or 4 questions, even if you're a new official, you join this year, you do the background check. Next year, they're going to ask you 2 or 3 questions.
gotcha.
Something if you've been arrested in the last 12 months, there's like 2 or 3. But so everybody each year has to do the background thing. But the $10, I think, is supposed to be every 3 years to 5 years. I'll have to check for sure on that. But for some reason, or at least in the past, they used to ask for a credit card and you just paid the $10 through your card when you did the background check for the first time. So I'll find out more information on that, but it is $10.
Okay,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Is that the background check? Is that done by the Washington State Patrol? Is that background check?
Well, it's done by a different company. We used to have it through the Washington State Patrol, but it's done by somebody else.
Okay. I've had to do it for medical. I just wondered if it was if I could cross over with that.
Yeah, they unfortunately no.
I can do the $10.
Right. Yeah, sorry, but no, they try. Other people have asked the same thing because people that were police officers or someone else, but no, it won't cross over. It's a separate background test.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I have a question as well. I just downloaded the app for Arbiter on my phone, and my name is misspelled on it. Do you know how to change that, or was it misspelled through Arbiter on the home site?
So you're,
Can you go into your profile and we'll let you change it?
No, I go to my profile and all it shows is my misspelled name, and then it's got my email address, and that's it.
Okay, can you send me an email and I'll get it corrected?
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, send me that and I'll get it corrected.
Okay.
John's email?
Let me look real quick.
Last name is Lindsay?
Yes, ma'am. Not on the I don't know if you can't see that, but on the app on the phone, it's got all the names of everybody on here.
That's weird.
Yeah, so that's why I don't know. So you guys were just trying your regular computer, right? And you can't see the names?
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why that.
Over what tab is the names?
Lists.
Oh,
It's under
lists.
list. Is yours blank also, Orin?
Wait, so I'm in the home right now, so do I have to click basketball?
Oh, you don't want to be in the WOA Central Hub. You want to be in PMBOA.
Okay.
So you know how to do that? You go up to the top right corner and you click on your
Switch
name.
views.
Switch views, yeah. And click PMBOA. And then from all the lists across the top, choose lists.
Yeah, there's nothing on mine either.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find out why that's happening.
Oh, another thing that I forgot to tell you guys is it would be beneficial for you to reach out to both John and Leslie and let them know, they know where you live because they have your address, but they need to know where you're going to be coming to your games from. Okay, so if you might live in Tacoma, but you work in downtown Seattle, that's important to them. So make sure you reach out with an email and just tell, I'm a new apprentice. I live here, I work here. I don't want to work any more than 4 games in a day, whatever you want to do, just so that they have an idea of what your limitations are. It'll help them when they make their assignments.
Yeah, if you just give us a little bit about yourself, how much of you, some of you obviously have had either other sports officiating or had background in officiating basketball or whatever it is. If you just give us a little couple paragraphs about yourself and what you kind of expect to get out of this on your availability. And then like Stacy said, we have numerous people that live in Bellevue, work in Seattle, would like to have games in Seattle right after work, or they would rather go over to Bellevue. So it helps us if we know a little bit about your employment, work, traveling. Some people use commuter, takes them an extra hour to get from work to a certain site. So anything you can give information, you can give to us.
Yeah, if you work shift work, for instance, and you work mids, these guys are going to love you because that means you're available in the afternoons. So that's important for them to know.
And you can't ask a stupid question, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. We have a lot of veterans ask stupid questions. But first and second year people, you guys get a pass. So if you have a question, just ask it. And you know, we'll be sure to answer it right away. You're probably gonna respond in email from me within a couple hours. That's probably the best way. Text is fine too. Whatever's the easiest for you, but email is probably the quickest way. You'll get a response back and maybe in a little bit more detail, and we'll answer your question too. And then maybe in that couple paragraphs, you can tell me what's the best way to get a hold of you too.
So there's another question that came up. Do you have any leniency with first-year apprentices if they screw up their availability and they can't do a game you assign?
Right. Well, for like I said, first year, second year, or get the breaks on scheduling issues and things until you get until you understand the system. with this year coming up, we're worried about how many officials we're gonna have, but we don't even know how many games we're gonna have. I assume that we're gonna have a lot of kids that are gonna want to play because they've been stuck at home for over a year. So we need officials, so we're gonna work with you and things like that. That's why I kind of talked about before about not trying to schedule out more than a couple of weeks because things happen at work or home or family. So there's a lot of changes on that. You guys will get the breaks, that's for sure. Person like Stacy, I would expect her to know what's going on.
He'd find me at the first mistake. Okay. anybody
Question?
Yeah,
Are John and Leslie's emails on the website?
they are, if you could get the list of names. They're on
Okay,
the-
but
no,
how about
no,
the,
actually go to the pmboa.org website. They should be on there.
okay.
Yeah.
I had a question too. I was just double checking. I don't think that I can see the list of names of people, but I'm just double checking I'm looking in the right place. I went to lists and then I went to officials and there should be names there.
Is it just blank or does it give you anything?
It has like the thing that says A, B, C, D, like goes through the whole alphabet,
Right.
but there's nothing under it. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find out why you guys aren't seeing that. That hasn't happened before, but Arbiter always seems to come up with some surprises every year. So we'll have to find out why you're not seeing. You can see like schedules. It has all the. If you click on.
yeah, it has everything else, and it has the association officers and everything, but just not the list of officials.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm gonna try to find out tomorrow and see why it's not working. If there's something we have to do or individually or it's something I don't understand why it would do that. It's never done that before, but there's always something new going on. So I'll try to give you guys an answer through Stacy. So for the next meeting, you guys can see if it's working.
Perfect. Anybody else have questions for John?
I was just going to mention, Stacy, if you go to that same page where the officials should be listed, you can also go to the officers list, and both your contact information and John's contact information is on there.
So
So
just
those
the
show up,
officers is there,
and the
but
sites
not,
show up. It's just the officials that don't show up.
that's so bizarre. Lists. Let me look at mine. Officials, association officers. I didn't even know we had all these things. Yeah. Sites. I don't know what that is. I see. Forums.
The list does show up in my Arbiter mobile, but not on the website.
Okay, John. Yeah, it's weird. It works for me, but it's always worked for me. So
It must be just the new people that we register because your group are the new people that
yep.
registered. I haven't heard it from the football guys that I registered, but I don't know if they've looked into it too much or not. I'll have to find out.
Okay.
But I'll work on it. I'll get it up where you'll be able to see it. And then you also have ability to put an emergency number on there too, which something that won't be posted, but the signers can see it.
In your profile.
Yeah, in your profile. So it's
Yeah.
really important that you give us some kind of emergency number. It won't go out to the membership, but as an assigner, we can see that something happened and we needed to get a hold of somebody, family member or somebody. It really is something we're trying to push that we haven't done in the past. So please add somebody to that list too, so it will help us. Emergency contact.
Yeah, I'll go back to that once you're done and make sure everybody understands how to do it.
Yeah, and Leslie was traveling, but basically there's no rec going on right now, so there's no games. Unfortunately, those would be kind of this, the way we could get apprentices, new people started, would be some of those AAU games on the weekends, some of the younger kids, but
But you said there are going to be some kind of CYO games going, right?
yeah, CYL is going to start in May, June, July, which is the Catholic Youth Organization, the small kids, fourth through eighth grade. And they're going to run a season in May, June, and July. It's on the weekends at different parishes, and some of the Catholic high schools have, we use their gyms too. And that's always a good way to get started. But now, of course, get more games. So we'll definitely have basketball for you. You're just going to have to wait a few more months.
Hey, John, since I did CYO back in the days when you assigned paper schedules, how do you, the CYO is not technically part of the PMBOA. So how do people tell you that they want to do it and give you availability?
We have a separate website that I'll send all the information out. We use Game Assign.
Okay.
So we use Game Assign. It's a different website. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to use it this year. There's a possibility that we're going to try to use Arbiter, but it hasn't been decided. But yeah, there's a separate website that's probably easier than Arbiter to put availability in, but it'd be the same thing. You'd get games. You'd enter availability and you'd get games through that. It's just paid through me, and it's a separate group from the PNBOA. But a lot of officials started their career working CYO little kids.
I did.
So that's kind of how we try to hook some. We probably have about 20 officials in our association that have worked CYO where they started their career. And we probably have 25 that work CYO right now. Some of them are Catholic, some of them just want to give back to the local area, local community. So it's a good program to get involved in.
So just to finish up this thought, so if one of this group wants to do CYO ball, do they need to email you so you can get them into the Game Assign or whatever it is?
Well, I'll probably send an email out to the whole membership.
Okay. Okay.
And they'll be able to sign up through that, or send me an email after I know for sure that we're going to be playing and there's no question about the season. But I'm still going to stay positive that we're going to play sports and we're going to play basketball this spring and summer.
Stacy, as a general rule, as Apprentice, where will we play? I mean, will we do like high school C games or not yet?
I'll let John answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be working the C games.
Okay.
High school C games, junior high games, depends on your availability. If you're available for the 3:30, 3:45, 4 o'clock afternoon games, you would probably start out with that, but you'd be working the C games with a proven veteran official that would help you out. But yeah, you would definitely, that's one great thing about the AAU program is, and the CYO program is officials in November, December would already be working some of that. So they'd have games under their belt before the season even started. So that was obviously this year is going to be different. But no, we expect that we're going to need you to help out with the frost schedules for sure.
And you know how it goes is as in a normal season, like John said, you work some of these youth games, AAU, CYO, then you start working these C games, and word gets back to the assigners. If somebody's does a really good job, maybe he hears from 2 or 3 people that Doug did a really good job. He might assign or Leslie might assign like a girls JV game, or it just depends on how you progress, and everybody progresses at a different rate. So just because one of you guys gets a JV game this year and somebody else doesn't, it doesn't mean you're a bad ref. It just means people progress at different rates. That's all. Okay.
Thank you.
Obviously, if you're available at 3:45, then you have a possibility of getting more games, because the majority of the junior highs will play a 3:45, 5:15 doubleheader, 7th and 8th grade games. So it kind of depends on your availability.
Yeah, I need to send these guys, the times when most of the games are. I haven't done that yet, so that they have a sense of what they're going to be able to work and what they can't.
Yeah. In the regular season, and that probably be the same, is that Tuesday and Friday are probably our busiest days, but the boys play on Tuesdays, but then Wednesday's a busy day because the girls play on Wednesdays. Then everybody plays on Friday. Junior high games are played on Monday through Thursday, with the most of them on Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. Monday is probably the slowest day, but Monday also has the most frosh games, and they're all over the board on what time they start. Some are 5, some are 6, some are 7. It depends on the league and depends on the school. The newer schools obviously have more gyms. The older schools don't have as many gyms. So they're trying to share the gyms through all their different programs that they have, not just basketball, it might be wrestling or gymnastics. So there's a lot of trying to get gym space and when they can play their games. And a lot of the Christian schools will play a bunch of games on Saturday during the day. So really there's basketball almost any day of the week.
And these guys will assign you as many games as you'll take. That's why it's important that you let them know what your limitations are. Okay?
Yeah, you're learning that pretty quick.
Okay. Anybody else for John before I let him go?
Well, thanks a lot for joining the PNBOA. You're going to have a lot of fun. It's a great organization, and it's great that you're giving back to the community, and you're going to really enjoy it. All right, thank you. Nice meeting you guys.
Take care, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
everybody, there's a couple things that I didn't show you on the website that I want to show you. It'll take like 2 seconds. So I'm going to go back to the website. Okay. So like I said, just play with this screen, with this availability. Nothing you do is going to hurt anything. You can clear everything. You can block everything. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay. Once that we announce that there's going to be games coming up, then you need to make sure it's set for real. Okay. Once you set your blocks during a normal time, you have to do one other thing, which is really kind of stupid. You have to go back to this main page and click a box. See right in the middle here where it says ready to be assigned? All you guys are unchecked right now. And no matter what you put in for availability, if you don't check ready to be assigned, you're not going to get any games. I don't know why that is. That's just how it is. So big important thing to remember, ready to be assigned, check. The other thing that I wanted to show you on here is John was talking about emergency numbers. So I have my phone number here, my cell number, okay? If you put in a number and choose emergency, that means it's not going to be public information. The only people who see it are the assigners in case, and you see over here, public, you just don't check on public. And they'll only use it if an accident happens in your game or you hurt yourself in a game and somebody needs to be contacted or for whatever reason. It's not often used, but it's something that that we're really trying to get filled because we've had a need for this information in the past and it hasn't been there and it's made it hard for everybody. Okay. So just put in your cell number and an emergency contact number. And over in the note, it'll just want to know who it is. And so like for me, it's my sister. So, okay. Anybody have any questions? I know John went for a while. He can talk, but he's got a lot of good information. So, and I hear he used to be a great ref. I never saw him ref, but he's a funny guy. So it would have been interesting. Okay, anybody else?
I'm
Okay.
still, I just have a personal question about just like, I'm still confused about how to get to the test from just like the main Arbiter.
Okay, so you're on the main Arbiter and you go to the upper right corner where it says change view, or it has your name or something.
Okay. There's
And you-
no like change view. I press on my name and it's just,
Can you share your screen?
yeah, sure.
If nobody else has a question, you guys can take off, but or you can watch here. Okay, so see where it says, so you only have PMBOA rec, is that, so click on, see where it says PMBOA rec and there's that little arrow next to it? Like, no, on the black part, right there. What happens if you click on the little arrow on the,
This,
yeah.
wait.
Okay, so you only have PMBOA rec, you don't have all of them.
Mine
So-
only says PNBOA.
Okay, so you should all have 4 things, and apparently the reason why you're confused is because you only have PMBOA rec.
Yeah, I have all of them.
One thing I had to do when I first logged in was that line with the grid of the different accounts.
Uh-huh.
It said, you've been invited to join. I had to click accept for the PMBOA rec one.
So why don't you,
So
Sammy, why
check
don't you
that.
log out and log back in and let's see if we can figure this out. You know, honestly, it's been so long since I got an account. So this is, I don't even see,
Yeah, that's why I was really confused earlier.
yeah, because Ken, I don't even see that she has that list. That's all you have on the main page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to work with you on this one. If anybody doesn't have, well, okay, the reason I think you don't, are you 16 or older?
No, I'm 15.
Okay, so that's why you don't have PMBOA.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
Okay, but you should have, well, maybe that's why you don't have WOA either, is because you can't technically be in the do school ball, and WOA is about school ball. That's what your thing is. So you can't even take the test. You're not even required to take the test because you're probably going to work CYO until you are old enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't have WOA either.
and how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, so you should have it.
Yeah. I only have PNBOA and PNBOA rec.
Okay. So Rowan. No WOA. And Chris, have you tried to get on at all? Is Chris Carter still here? Chris, can you unmute yourself real quick?
Yeah, just take me some clicks. I did log in and I have all 4.
Okay, so I'll cross you off my list of questions. So has everybody else got all 4 except for Sammy and Rowan?
Yeah, both 4.
Okay. Okay, then we're good to go. You guys, if you have any questions about the usage of the site or fulfilling the WOA requirements or something doesn't work, just send me an email and we'll figure it out and get it done with. Okay?
What is the timing on completing those requirements?
Well,
in the test?
normally you need to have them finished before you officiate a school game. So right this year, like you have forever, but most of the time you need to have them done before Thanksgiving.
Got it.
Because we normally start school ball the week after Thanksgiving. Okay, but like I said, just do them. Just be done with them. Also, if there are those of you who have not been contacted by your mentor group, please shoot me an email because I want to make sure that that gets going so that we don't lose you guys. Okay. Okay. And if I've been trying to think of, getting together every couple weeks or something to check in with you, maybe go over, look through some plays or something. Does that sound like it might be helpful, or do you want to just stick with your pods and go from there? Anybody have an opinion?
I like the idea that we get together.
Yeah, I do. I do
Yeah, me
too.
too. I
Okay.
think it'll help.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
good
I
to me.
don't want to overwhelm you if you're going to do pod work and this work. We'll just see how they work, how they mesh together. And as long as there's some activity that you're participating in to stay connected, that's the important thing. So I'll make opportunities available and we'll just kind of see how it works out. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys have a good night.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks a
Good
lot.
night,
You too.
everybody.
Nice.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.